We're live, baby. Welcome to the Golden Days. In case you're wondering, who is this guy? What's going on here? Yeah, we're a program that covers the Golden State Warriors, and we haven't been publishing that much content lately because there's practically nothing to talk about. Today there is, though. In the last 24 hours, some things have been shaken down. Nothing in terms of substance, in terms of actual names on paper, actual official news. But if you're into the drama, there's some good stuff. And we're going to talk about that. Of course, it pertains to Jonathan Kuminga because he's the only damn talking point when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, given as a restricted free agent, he wants more than what the Warriors are offering. He's upset about the way he's been treated the last 4 years, in my opinion, justifiably so. And some news has come out recently. His agent even went on social media and said some words because he's trying to save face. Let's talk about it. I'm also going to welcome the audience. It's been a long time since I've gone solo, months. Since a post-game show, I believe that's the last time I've done a solo show. And the reason why I bring that up is because if you want to come on the show with me tonight, if you have grievances, if you have opinions, if you have questions, join the party. Phone lines are open, metaphorically speaking. It's actually a link. So the link will be available in the chat if you join this show live. Because, again, there is a lot to talk about. I know the fans are losing their shit over all this, and I don't blame you. I've got friends of mine who are lifelong Warrior fans saying, I'm out. I like literally hitting a pause button on following the Warriors because of how frustrating this whole thing is for them. Could you blame them? This is a mess. Let's talk about it. Oh, boy. Welcome to the Golden Days.
They always find something to nitpick, and that's because there's expectations for us to win. Leave me alone this summer.
Woo! Let's go. In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up.
Oh, yeah, and it's July. And nothing new. Welcome to the program that we call Golden Days. The word "the" I added in front just because in terms of proper grammar and the structure behind it, it sounds better when I say the Golden Days. But the program's just called Golden Days. You can follow it on all social media platforms at Golden Days Pod. I'm over on Instagram and Threads at Dog Wild, and my handle on Twitter is at Surf Journalist. Oh, look, right off the bat. And this, again, this is a testament to the idiocy that is Kerr haters. Welcome, Mark Flugencio, who, again, this is a live show. What day is today? I'm so lost in the summer. I don't even know what day it is. It's Thursday, July 24th. And as I mentioned just a moment ago, the phone lines are open. Meaning, if you want to come on this show and call me an idiot to my face, you're welcome to. But as is the par for the course when it comes to the Kaminga haters, when it comes to the Steve Kerr apologists who can't think for themselves or who bases what they determine to be reality when it comes to the Golden State Warriors strictly based off most of the other programming out there that covers the Warriors, you get opinions formed like this right there from, again, Mark Flugencio, who just one word, instead of coming on the show, instead of having the balls to say to my face, virtually speaking, you just have to be a keyboard warrior. And instead of thinking you made a point, all you did was make yourself look like an absolute fool. A scaredy cow fool, might I add. Because again, the door's open. You could literally come on the show and explain using the brain you're gifted with why you think I'm an idiot. But instead, little Mark, probably hiding in his parents' basement, middle-aged at that. Here's my guess of how Mark looks physically. Fat, tiny penis, middle-aged, broke, Hasn't showered in 2 months. Keeps asking his mom for the meatloaf. That's Mark for you. And then Anthony Merkovich is saying, take it easy, buddy. Why don't you tell audience members who come on here and call me idiot to take it easy? Please. I'm not mean today. Anthony, you literally, this guy, Mark Flugencio, just came on the program and called me an idiot, and I'm being mean? Come on, man. Come on, dude. Let's at least be on a realistic playing field here when we're having discussions. Jordy Beans is asking, what did I miss? You didn't miss a thing. We just started. Literally, the first comment was some moron who, again, I'm just going to paint a picture of what I'm guessing he looks like, because only a deranged fool would be literally just typing on his phone or however you're watching this. Idiot. I didn't like this person. He doesn't just believe everything Steve Kerr says. And so, oh my God, this guy's ruffling the whole paradigm of Warriors fandom. And I got to type in my thing. Idiot, because this guy thinks Kaminga actually has potential, and this guy isn't just bowing over to Steve Kerr and everything that Steve Kerr says. Steve Kerr's a genius. No, he's not. No, he's not. And again, the link, I just posted it. It's right there in the chat. If you want to come on the show, I welcome you. Yeah, Jordy's theorizing maybe a person like that is coming directly from Steve Kerr himself. You might be right. You never know. But there's a lot to break down. Again, if you just joined the party, we just started. Before I discuss all the latest surrounding Kaminga, surrounding the contract, surrounding Kaminga's agent making an appearance on social media, allegedly, because with Twitter, now the blue check mark doesn't mean anything except you wasting money unless you're making money back, and more power to those folks. But it doesn't verify identity. So we have no idea if the Aaron Turner on Twitter is Aaron Turner, Kaminga's agent. But if it is, he actually said something. I had a little back and forth with Bonte Hill on Twitter. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. Because Bonte Hill, NBC Sports Bay Area anchor, you're probably familiar with him if you watch Warriors games, especially here in the Bay Area, as the pre- and post-game and halftime anchor, former radio guy. Used to work at the same station I worked at. And he was on another podcast basically calling Anthony Slater a liar. And then he didn't like that I came in there and said, I'm going to trust the actual journalists in this world when it comes to information. Didn't like that. But I had to clarify some things because these Kerr apologists, man, they're everywhere. And I'm not. I don't just immediately bow down to this guy's every whim like so many people do. It's psychotic. All right. Let me give some love to the sponsors here real fast because they support us. And if you want to support us as well, we do have some space right now, inventory-wise. All you got to do is email us. It's very simple. Warriors24pod@gmail.com. Again, Warriors24pod@gmail.com. If you want to email us and express interest in being a local sponsor, because again, very limited space to get the kind of love that we give to clients like Decades, a cover band who, last I checked, I think they're in Idaho somewhere. They're all over the country, and their entire modus operatus is playing some damn good music, live music for your event. And that event could be personal, meaning it could be like a birthday party. It could be a wedding anniversary. It could be a wedding. It could be just a good old-fashioned backyard rager. And side note, if that happens, you better hit me up. Let your Uncle Si know you're throwing a party with Decades. I'm coming. It could also be a corporate event. Think along the lines of the Catalina Wine Mixer. And if you need some prestige worldwide, that's what these folks do for you. They're available for hire. All you have to do is email Kyle at atomicmusicgroup.com. Again, Kyle at atomicmusicgroup.com, or just go to decadesofficial.com to find contact information there. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at decadesofficial. They're awesome. They're local. They're Golden Dazers. They are huge Warriors and Niners fans. They play every red zone rally. Those are the pregame parties next door to Levi Stadium at Great America. And they're there. They got hired for good reason to play music for events like that. This is their full-time gig. And if they're making a full-time living doing this, something tells me they know what they're doing and they're damn good at it. So go check them out and go hire them for your event and thank me later. Decades. An awesome cover band. Again, playing everything from the 50s to today, from Katy Perry to Chuck Berry. I might have gone the reverse. It doesn't matter. The point is they're playing everything you want. Hire them and thank me later. And also, if you mention this program or anything associated with it, you'll get a discount as well. Decadesofficial.com is the website. Today's episode also brought to you by BetOnline, the world's most trusted betting platform. And after I'm done giving BetOnline love, I want to make a quick announcement pertaining to sponsorships in this show as well. But BetOnline, look, the world's most trusted betting platform. The slogan exists for a reason. They've been sponsoring this program for years. And I've never once heard a single bad thing uttered or said about them. They've got a live casino. You could bet on the WNBA. The Valkyries played today, actually. They played the Fever. You could have bet on that. All you got to do is check out their website, BetOnline. The game starts here. And on that note, BetOnline, today is July 24th. So we got one more week to go of the month of July. And I wasn't going to bring this up originally, but if you subscribe to the podcast, you may notice that Believe, our parent network, if you will, added a little sponsor line, a little tag there at the bottom of our logo on the podcast side. And it's a company that I can't begin to tell you how elated I am that we have FanDuel coming to this show. It's a week away. The sponsorship is going to start on August 1st, and they're sponsoring other shows on Believe as well. This is a national sponsorship, so we still have a couple slots open for local sponsors. But folks, if you've been like watching me, listening to me, going back to the old Locked On days, you remember the enthusiasm that we exuded when we announced that FanDuel was coming there. But now for our operation, one that's independent, we got FanDuel sponsoring us. I'm so elated. There will be a lot more information coming about that soon. Stay tuned. But that's going to open up a lot of doors because now we're going to have the FanDuel talent to potentially book as a guest on this show. I get to look at their website where we're talking massive amounts of options. I'm going to bring a lot more gambling experts on this program soon. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, FanDuel is going to be a sponsor of this program in a week. Elated for that information. And last piece of information pertaining to the program before we talk Warriors here and JK. Mark Haynes of the Sacramento Observer. He also recently started hosting Believe in Kings. He's been covering the NBA for a long time, and him and I are going to be doing a show weekly together. This is going to be on Sundays. We haven't figured out the time yet. We haven't figured out a good name yet, like maybe the Capital to the Bay, the 80 Express. I don't know what we're going to call it, but once a week on Sundays, Mark Haynes and I are going to be doing a dual stream where Believe in Kings and Golden Days comes together. We're going to have some Kings talk, Warriors talk, NBA talk. That's going to be on Sundays, and I'm elated about that. So stay tuned. So once the NBA season starts ramping back up, 3 out of the 5 days a week are covered on this show. The Hall of Famer Rick Barry, Sophia Jones, color analyst for the Golden State Valkyries, and Mark Haynes, who hosts Believe in Kings. Him and I are going to be doing a dual shot, and that's the coverage, and we're really excited about that. Eddie757 Golden Dazer, thank you, sir, for mentioning that. Fal Sharpton going very crass here. I don't know what this means in regards to fists and Kaminga. Who knows what that means? But oh wow, Fal, you're going like really dark here. Let's try and remember that there are younger people watching. There are some folks that are not at that level of crassness. I can handle it all, but I don't know if all the audience can. But degenerate dad, is that my dad? Thank you so much for the kind words there. Yeah, we got some good stuff cooking here, and I'm excited to see what comes in a couple months once things really start ramping up. I've noticed recently that we haven't been doing a lot of shows here, and the way I noticed is over on the Apple Podcast page. We're part of Believe Basketball, right? That's what our show is part of in terms of greater networks and whatnot. And usually our program's always number 1 or number 2 in terms of the most listened to shows among all the Believe basketball programs. It's wild. It's something we're very proud of. But over the last 6 weeks or so, we've plummeted to like 8th, and it's largely because we've been doing about one show a week on average. Part of it is I've just become an absolutely lazy, worthless piece of shit. It's summer. This was exhausting covering the Warriors. I'm also a professor. I taught 3 classes last semester. So when the end of May, early June rolled around, I slept, I think, for like a week straight. And I just turned into a worthless pile. Happily, I was a couch potato with my real potato, my dog Bubba. But in all kidding aside, I would have been doing more shows if not for the fact that the Golden State Warriors are the only team in the NBA who still, on July 24th, haven't done a damn thing. Literally nothing other than drafting a pair of second rounders. That's it. They're the only team in the NBA who does not have any transactions to report or to be excited about, to be proud of. There is nothing to talk about. I can't, like, for example, the Kristen Peak, whose basketball mind I respect and value more than almost anyone. She does an annual summer appearance on the program. I can't bring her on yet because we don't know what this team's going to look like. Everything's on hold. It's psychotic. Now, the good news is usually the lackadaisical, like, do nothing month when it comes to the NBA is August. This year for the Warriors, because of how far they pushed every transaction back, I think July was that month, and I think hopefully August is going to be a more busier time. But it's wild. Nothing has happened yet, and a huge reason for that is this standoff that we have between Jonathan Kuminga and his representation and the Golden State Warriors. Now, Summer League finished up a week ago, and there were reports that the Golden State Warriors front office and Kaminga's representation were going to meet. There was maybe some optimism that there was going to be a contract, a deal signed. Nope. And Anthony Slater, who side note is now with ESPN, and if there's a piece of good news for that move that affects us, the consumers of Warriors information, of basketball information, is that he no longer has his content hidden behind the Athletic's paywall. I'm sure some of you subscribe to the Athletic. More power to you. I don't. A part of that is principle. So every time Slater or somebody with the Athletic writes something new, a lot of us are just waiting for that, for snippets of information to be leaked by those who actually spend money on the Athletic for us to know what we're talking about. That is no longer an issue. Anthony Slater is with ESPN. His work is public. Everything is now out there without having to worry about subscriptions, unless ESPN Plus starts to add a paywall themselves, then completely throw away everything I've said for the last minute or so. But Slater wrote a new piece about what happened in Vegas, and it was very eye-opening. It was very enlightening. And the part that I thought was most important was at the very end, which I thought was a little weird. Usually in journalism, in textual content, you want to start your story with the most important information so that your readers are hooked, so that they actually their attention is captured, so they can actually read all the work you put into a whole story. The part that I thought was most fascinating was at the very end, and I'm going to read it to you verbatim because I don't think there's a books on tape for Anthony Slater's columns, and there is no audio of this, so I'll just enunciate it verbatim. And for the podcast audience, I'm sure you'll appreciate that. 3 paragraphs at the end of Anthony Slater's story, and it goes like this, quote, Kaminga would be a significant part of the Warriors' rotation to open next season, and they need his supplementary scoring on nights when Stephen Curry, 37, or Jimmy Butler, 35, rest. That's something Coach Steve Kerr has told Kaminga in recent weeks. Kerr has been one of the leading voices trying to patch things together, sources said. But Kaminga no longer wants to be a secondary option or a fallback plan, fearing a minimization in important moments. He scored 18, 30, 23, and 26 points in the final 4 playoff games against the Minnesota Timberwolves after Curry went down. but Kaminga was entirely out of the rotation in the first round against the Houston Rockets, a painful memory that helps shape his current mindset. So he will remain on the summer search for a potential fresh start, unquote. If there's any good news from those 3 paragraphs, it's that Steve Kerr is at least trying. Because until I read that, I had no idea. No one did, unless there's something out there that I missed, in terms of what the effort was from Kerr's part. And it is encouraging hearing that, because the issue Kaminga has is entirely with that one person, Steve Kerr. And the impetus is on him to fix this damn thing. He effed it up. He has to fix it. It ain't complicated. And again, if you watch the show regularly, if you consider yourself a Golden Dazer, you heard us at the end of the season. You saw me losing my shit over those ridiculous decisions that Kerr was making. You saw me retract a guarantee because I felt so damn good about the Warriors winning a title last year. And then I pulled back because I saw Kerr giving GP 2 more minutes and a bigger role than Jonathan Kuminga. It was absurd. It was wild. It was some of the dumbest shit I have ever seen in my entire life watching NBA basketball. That's saying something. It made no sense. And this is the position we are in now. Good news is Kerr is trying to fix it. Bad news is it's July 24th and he hasn't fixed the thing yet. Today was a busy day from ESPN because they did a lot of coverage when it comes to the latest on this Kaminga piece. Chief among them, besides Anthony Slater, who again is at the forefront of all this, was Shams Charania, who made an appearance on NBA Today. And it was a hell of an appearance because Shams Charania decided to travel to Miami, where Jonathan Kuminga is currently training, to actually interview him, to actually get it from the horse's mouth in terms of how he's feeling and where he's at in all this. So why don't we hear from Shams? Let's hear that report. This was earlier today. Shams Charania reporting, I believe, from Miami, Florida, and providing his update, or an update, on the Kaminga negotiations. Let's let Shams take it away.
It's offseason.
And we now welcome in our senior insider, Shams Charania, who is in Miami. Shams, why has it been such a slow start to the offseason for the Golden State Warriors?
Vanessa, the Warriors' entire offseason has been essentially on pause for one player, and that's the restricted free agent, Jonathan Kuminga. And they have wanted to figure out his situation before making their other offseason moves. And so I saw Jonathan Kuminga this morning at a workout in Miami. He's in good spirits. He had a good workout. He did tell me, though, that he is in absolutely no rush on doing a deal with the Warriors right now, and he's not accepting their current offers. He added that he wants to continue to explore options with his agent, Aaron Turner, whether that's continuing conversations with the Warriors, but also sign and trade options that are available to him in the marketplace.
Okay, Shams, so you use the term options. What do those other options for Jonathan Kuminga look like?
I'm told the Phoenix Suns and the Sacramento Kings are two teams that have made concrete offers with the Warriors over the last week or so. They're two of the more aggressive teams with Kaminga, and they're also offering him an opportunity for significant minutes, a starting caliber role in their lineup. And those are two things that he wants more than anything. So where this is at, Vanessa, is the Warriors do not want anything, though, that is available to them, is being offered to them in sign and trades. And on the other hand, with Jonathan Kuminga, he is not ready to move forward with taking any of the Warriors' current offers. He's not in a hurry to do a deal there yet. And so 24 days into the offseason, it's a staring contest between these two sides that could continue much longer than just this month. And so we're nearing August and still no Warriors move so far this offseason.
Crazy. It is crazy. Unprecedented. I can't think of another situation like this. And a great comment as well from Degenerate Dad in the chat, writing that while we're all waiting on Kaminga, the fact that there are 4 restricted free agents all just sitting in limbo, It ain't just Kaminga. It's also Josh Giddey. It's also the guy whose name, for whatever reason, always slips my mind, the guard with the the Brooklyn Nets, Cam Thomas. I think I finally got his name right for once. And then Quentin Grimes. They are all restricted free agents. This is a nightmarish market. And again, on Kaminga's side of things, I'm not absolving his agent, Aaron Turner. And something tells me these folks are all like checking this show out. I'm starting to notice a lot of topics that emerge right after this show gets aired. And I take that as a sign of respect. I do, even though they don't credit us in most cases. What I mean by that is Aaron Turner went on Twitter to address what has, for whatever reason, become this confusion, misinformation. Here's the tweet. And again, Aaron Turner, if this is his Twitter account, nothing on Twitter is verified now identity-wise, so we never know, exactly who's saying what. But provided this tweet did come from Aaron Turner at ARockTurner20. This is Jonathan Kuminga's agent. And he wrote, quote, "No one on our side was turning down $30 million a year. Our camp is smarter than that. Narrative makes no sense. Twisted up Slater's words, I think. Hashtag fake news." On top of this, you had, and I'm not going to play the clip because I don't see those other shows ever giving us free airtime. So why the hell I'm going to do it to them? So I will just summarize what was said on one of our competitors. And this was Bonte Hill in an interview with Monty Poole, longtime Bay Area journalist. Side note, personally speaking, I think he's a great dude. Even if it seems he's with the camp of just, Kerr apologists, where media members just seem to, again, have this hero worship for the Warriors head coach. And part of it, I imagine, is just going along for the ride with him for those 4 championships. It doesn't excuse throwing away your journalistic integrity. No excuse for that. It's journalism 101. You don't get in bed with the subject you're supposed to cover, meaning there needs to be a metaphorical boundary, a wall, if you will, emotionally and otherwise, between you and the subject you cover. Yet this is a rule that nearly everyone in local media is not adhering to when it comes to Steve Kerr. And whether it's because they went on the ride with him for those 4 championships, whether it's because they've been persuaded from a charm campaign, whatever it is, it's wild shit, man, that so many local media members just look at Steve Kerr and bow to him and pretend he is Jesus when it comes to basketball. It's the most lunatic shit I've seen in recent history when it comes to this media paradigm of NBA coverage and Warriors coverage. And Monty Poole, for the most part, has been part of that camp, unfortunately, but really good dude otherwise. With that said, Bonte Hill was on his show. It was a podcast. And Bonte Hill decided to come out and say, I don't know where this 30 million number came from. The 30 million, side note, is referencing Anthony Slater, who a year ago for The Athletic reported that Kaminga's camp wanted $35 million a year annually. The Warriors countered with $30 million a year annually. And now Bonte Hill is coming out saying, I decided to do my own research on this, and my sources are saying that number is not true. And then right after that, you have Aaron Turner, Jonathan Kuminga's agent, tweeting it just like hours apart when all this is happening, which, side note, makes it very easy to put the puzzle pieces together and make it fit in terms of who the source was that fed Bonte Hill that information. But my point is, Aaron Turner clearly has an agenda here, all right? He looks awful for turning down $30 million a year ago. Bad look. So, of course, he's trying to cover his ass. Of course, he's trying to publicly now say, we never turned that down. That would be crazy for us. I'm going to trust the journalist, Anthony Slater. I'm going to trust the guy who actually went to school and trained for this, a guy who actually has credibility when it comes to reporting information. And maybe the part of all this that makes me think, no, 30 million sounds about right, is the very last episode we did pertaining to what other individuals in Kaminga's draft class have earned. Okay, what I mean by that is $30 million a year last season, I could logically understand turning that down. Again, when you consider Cade Cunningham has $314 million guaranteed to him through 2030. Jalen Green is far more of a perfect example in terms of looking at contracts from other players in that draft class and using that as a baseline, if you will. Jalen Green has earned $146 million guaranteed. You look at Scotty Barnes, $257 million guaranteed. Jalen Suggs of the Orlando Magic, who's been hurt close to half his career, who does not have a three-point shot, $180 million guaranteed. So when we look at last season and we look at $35 million a year versus $30 million a year, it might sound kind of crazy to you, especially when you look at this current market. I get it. It sounds exorbitant, but Aaron Turner turning down 31 and 35 is not a wild scenario. It's not something that's outlandish or outside the realm of reality. It's actually most likely how it went down. And Kaminga's value took a hit from last year to this year, largely because of the injury, largely because his relationship with Kerr soured even more this past season. So the Warriors now look at him and they look at this landscape, which sees 4 restricted free agents, all former first-round picks, just sitting there waiting for a decent deal. And so the Warriors are looking at this marketplace and going, you know what? Last year we offered you 30, but times have changed. Now we want to give you 20. And Kaminga's camp, who wanted 35 a year ago, is now saying, damn it, we should have taken that 30. They totally screwed that up, but we'll take 25 now, fine. And this is where we are at. And again, this is where TG saying, JK did not turn down 5 for 150 last year. That is ridiculous. Why? Why is that ridiculous? When I literally just showed you Jalen Suggs made $180 million. Why is that so outlandish to you? Jalen Green, $146 million guaranteed. And that's only through 2028. It's not that crazy. Franz Wagner taken after Jonathan Kuminga. $247 million guaranteed. So why then, TJ, I don't know where your chat went, sorry, but I don't know why you think 5 for 150 is so outlandish. It's actually not. And again, so this is the reality we're in right now. All right, and Kaminga, and where he's really bitter about everything. It isn't just the fact that he got DNP'd at the end of the season. It's not just the fact that he was out of the rotation in that Rocket series until Jimmy Butler got hurt. It's that for 4 years of his career, he's averaged 22 minutes per game, while his peers in the top 10, most of them, are averaging 30 or more minutes a game, getting more time to get opportunities for the stats that you need to get those big contracts. And he's bitter and he's pissed off. And I don't blame him one iota, man. I don't. I completely understand his perspective. And I kind of understand the Warriors in the current state. I think the front office perspective is, this is the marketplace. We live in a capitalistic world, and we can give you this amount because that's what the market dictates. But that's not sitting right with Kaminga. And here we are. And by the way, here, I'll post the link again if anyone wants to come on, because I posted the link at the very beginning of the show. And just in case you missed that, there it is again. I would happily welcome anyone who wants to come on and have your own thoughts. I'm partly doing a solo show for that exact reason, because this is the time if you want to jump in and provide different perspective. But one other soundbite I want to play. I guess that's it for the Kaminga topic. I don't know really what else to bring up other than this is the standoff. Now, one last thing I want to mention about this before I play a soundbite from Anthony Slater. because he actually had some really good news. Oh, it's Sean from the Dub C. Let's bring him on real fast, and then we'll hear from Anthony Slater, because again, there was some good news today. Lost in the murkiness of all this Jonathan Kuminga, Steve Kerr, Golden State Warriors negotiating nightmare. There's a name attached to the Warriors that if this Kaminga thing ever gets resolved and they start signing free agents, he might be one of them. And it's great news, folks. And whether you agree with me or not, I am elated over this. But first, let's bring on a Sean from the Dub C. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How about you, Cyrus?
I'm doing all right, man. What's on your mind?
Not much. Were you referring to Seth Curry as that player?
Don't ruin the tease. Don't ruin the tease. I'll mention it in a second.
My fault.
How dare you? I'm kidding. Who
No,
cares? What else? What else besides Seth?
I mean, with the Kaminga thing, man, it's like I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Warriors have been, desperately trying to get the best deal possible for Kaminga, but it's
In terms of a trade, you mean?
Trade or signing him, right?
What makes you think that they're doing the best they can in terms of a financial offer?
Well, they had offered him, like you said, they had offered him $30 million, but they want to go down on 25 or something, right?
No, supposedly what's going. Again, this is look. I'm gonna trust the actual reporters. Okay, so this is what I'm basing my information on, and in regards to the current figures, I believe Mark Stein and Jake Fisher. Mark Stein is a Substack. Jake Fisher, formerly of Yahoo, now writes for him. What Mark Stein is reporting in terms of the numbers that they're differentiating on is Kaminga's camp would be happy with $25 million, and the Warriors are reportedly offering 20. And if that's the case, my message to the Warriors is, dude, just give him 25 and move on. Like, end this shit. Like, what? Like, are you really haggling over $5 million a year when this could be put to bed and you could have this dynamic young piece playing on your team next year, which you need? That's what's been reported. And if you know anything different, please let me know, brother. But continue on. Sorry.
Well, I also heard you saying in another show that Lake Up just doesn't give away money. I know it's like a difference of $5 million, but for him it might be a lot. And basically, the whole twist up is that more deals can't get done basically until Kaminga gets signed or traded. That's why they're holding off and they're not doing anything. The longer they wait, the worse they're gonna get. I thought Horford and Melton was a done deal, but they haven't even gotten them either. So I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say the reason why that's all going down right now, we covered this pretty detailed last episode. Who cares? I'll repeat it over and over because it's complicated, and I know a lot of people don't watch whole shows. The Warriors right now are at approximately $170 million in terms of total expenditures that they owe to players. And the salary, the cap doesn't matter. The second apron matters. The second apron is $207 million. And the reason why that number is pertinent to all this is because if the Warriors are going to sign Al Horford, they're going to have to use what's called the taxpayer mid-level exception. And that gives teams approximately $5.6 million to use on top of veteran minimums. But if you use it, the second apron gets hard capped, meaning all of a sudden that second apron number, which is $207 million, suddenly becomes a border, suddenly becomes a line you cannot, no matter what, cross. And if the Warriors made a decision now, whether it's to offer to give Melton a veteran minimum, whether it's to give Horford $5.6 million, which is the max of the taxpayer, you're now hard capping yourself at that $207 million, and it opens the door for another team, hypothetically, to screw the Warriors over by offering Kaminga more money than they can give them. It would be a Gilbert Arenas situation all over again, and that is exactly what the Warriors don't want. So I'm hopeful personally, Ishan, that there are handshake deals in place and that DeAnthony Melton, Seth Curry, who we'll talk about in just a second, Al Horford, and if Horford decides to retire because that's not official yet, then maybe that money is going to be used for someone else. Point is, I'm hoping those handshake deals are set and those players right now have the mindset of, I'm a Golden State Warrior. We just can't go official with this. But you're right. They can't do shit officially until this Kaminga thing is resolved because you run the risk of losing them for nothing.
Exactly. I mean, do you think the Kaminga could be trying to screw over the Warriors? No.
Screw them over how? What do you mean?
Like he might have some sour taste, especially with Kerr. So maybe he might want to wait till the longest time possible to sign with him or get the best deal that's for him.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, look, there's a lot of information none of us know, at least not publicly. Like for example, we don't know if Kaminga's of the mindset that I want out no matter what. Like we haven't heard that, But and if that's true, that totally goes along the line of your thinking, which is you just gotta trade him, man. You can't keep a guy who has zero interest in staying here. But what Kaminga wants, and I don't think he's asking for much, man. What Kaminga wants is to no longer be treated like a secondary guy on his basketball team. Like he wants to play. He just wants to play. And he wants that assurance. He doesn't want to be riding the bench late in an important game because Steve Kerr doesn't trust him. He doesn't want to be put in that situation anymore. And apparently Steve Kerr's trying. That's good news. But I don't think he's doing a good enough job if the communication is falling flat. And again, I've reported this on the show before, and I'll say it again. Steve Kerr read Kerr's comments that he made to Tim Kawakami about the 38 minutes a game. That was the specific part that Kaminga took very huge issue with. Some other people have brought up that maybe Kaminga's upset as well that Steve Kerr revealed to the public that he has daughters, which was not public at all until Steve Kerr just leaked that out. I don't know personally if he got upset by that, but I do know the 38-minute-a-night thing did upset him because he just wants a role. He just wants to play basketball, and he's just upset that time and time and again, year after year, Kerr just routinely just doesn't trust him, and he's over that. This whole thing sucks, dude.
If I was Kaminga, I would probably take a 1-year deal, to be honest.
But would the Warriors do that, though?
Yeah, I'm not. Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, like for example, one option on the table is the qualifying offer, right? Which is $7.9 million, $8 million. I forgot what that number is. Please don't quote me on that. But that's an option too, right? Where Kaminga can sign a qualifying offer, play 1 year, and then just bounce for nothing. The Warriors don't want that scenario, largely because A, you're going to get a Jonathan Kuminga who may or may not be invested. He might be just bitter the whole time that season. But 2, you're losing this asset for nothing. That's just not good GMing. Like, you don't want to lose important pieces and get nothing back, man. That ain't good business. So it's a tough spot, dude. And a lot of people I've read, there's this opinion that the Warriors have all the leverage because, they hold his rights. Like Kaminga can't, for example, some people are wondering, like, can Kaminga just hold out for the season, right? Can he just decide to play overseas or do something crazy like that? Nope, because the let's say the qualifying offer expires, and I think it expires at the end of September. The Warriors can just offer another qualifying offer, and if Kaminga doesn't sign that, Kaminga stays a restricted free agent next year. So the Warriors have leverage in that regard where they're not going to lose him for nothing. But you also have Stephen Curry turning 38 this year. You have Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green turning 36 next year. This might be the last serious chance you have of winning a title with Stephen Curry as your centerpiece. He has personally requested, he went public with this. He does not want a distraction this season. He wants the focus to be championship. And I'm sorry, but Jonathan Kuminga unhappy on your team, talking about trading him mid-season, that is the definition of a distraction. What the Warriors want is this to be nipped in the bud, him signing happy. Good luck with that, because you're going to have to pay this kid if you want him to be happy. Yeah. And here we are, dude. It sucks.
I think he wants like that number 2 or 3 role and getting more consistent minutes rather than getting the 30 million. I mean, if he could get like a 20 million from 20 or 25 from Sacramento and be guaranteed a starting spot, he would take that in a heartbeat. But the problem is he is restricted.
Well, and this brings up a good point. And I love that you're here with me while we talk about this. Mm-hmm. Shams Charania did report that in the last week, the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns have made serious trade offers for Kaminga. And when I say serious, I mean from their perspective. The Warriors clearly did not think those were serious offers. Is the Sacramento Kings have some intriguing pieces? I can't think of a single piece on the Phoenix Suns not named Devin Booker who I'd want back. Is there anyone on Phoenix that is enticing to you? Because they don't even have a first-round pick next year or in upcoming years. I don't know what Phoenix is thinking, because Grayson Allen ain't going to be it, obviously. And I don't know who the Phoenix Suns have. Is there anyone on their team that titillates you?
Let me look up their roster. No,
And yeah, go ahead, sir.
maybe Dylan Brooks. But Draymond's not gonna want to play with that. But no,
You're not giving up Kaminga for Dylan Brooks. Like that's ridiculous. Like it's
probably their best asset is Dylan Brooks. But on the Kings, I would definitely want Keegan Murray. But I don't think that.
You know what I want even more than that, and this is what has been reported in multiple places. In terms of what the Warriors want, if a sign and trade does happen, they want back a first-round pick. Keegan Murray's nice, but you know what's even nicer from the Sacramento Kings? Their first-round pick next year, meaning the Sacramento Kings first-round pick in the 2026 draft. That if the Kings are offering that, the Warriors will listen. Until you bring that to the equation, I don't think the Warriors are going to take them seriously. Again, the Suns don't have any picks to offer, but the Warriors do want a first-round pick. And if Sac's offering their first next year, Sacramento is not going to be a good team, man. They're likely going to be lottery bound. Next year's draft is deep. I'm taking that because that could, in theory, be a number one pick. Sign me up for that and Keegan Murray. Sign me up for that and whoever the Devin Carter or whatever the kid's name is. You got to include that first round pick. Otherwise, yeah, Keegan Murray, even though I don't think even he's enough, he's not dynamic enough of a player, in my opinion. We saw a regression with his statistics this last year. I don't know who else on that team excites other than Domantas Sabonis. I do it for Sabonis.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I personally wouldn't do it for the first round pick unless the Warriors know that they're finished. If they know that they're not going to be able to compete, which I personally think they're done.
Me too.
I think, like who's the last 38-year-old? Oh, Steph's going to be 38 this season, right? Who's the last 38-year-old? Maybe other than Tim Duncan, right? To win a ring. I don't remember. And he's just getting older. And Jimmy Butler has been shown to be injury prone a bit too. And you can't keep running Draymond at the 5. It's just not going to work, man.
No. And thankfully Mike Dunleavy Jr. has brought that up already in terms of that not being an advisable option. I think Steve Kerr has even publicly expressed that being an idea that they're not going to entertain next year because of age. Palmetto Money in the chat brings up Keon Ellis, which again, another target I'd be sort of happy with. Again, you got to include that first round pick. If you're Sacramento and you're serious about Jonathan Kuminga, either attach that first rounder next year or just move on. Because the Warriors are not going to entertain that. Trey Lyles is an unrestricted free agent, perfectly available for a veteran minimum. So Palmetto, I just wanted to mention that because Trey Lyles is a free agent I would be more than happy with. I
wouldn't I would not want Trey Lyles on the Warriors.
Sounds good. Why?
He's not. He's been bounced around like a lot of teams. He's not done much. He barely got.
Well, that's also why he's only going to cost you a veteran minimum. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think no matter what, even if the Warriors got Horford and Melton, I don't think that's gonna cut it either. Melton was like he tore his ACL or Achilles last season.
It was like a partial, I think ACL tear. It wasn't a full tear. Everything I've heard is that he's ready to go. He's going to be 100% this season. But I hear your concerns. I understand why you're concerned about that. Do you have anything else on your mind before we move on, or
not really? I mean,
how's your summer going?
It's great, man. Just spent time with family. Came over from Canada. And we were out in a city a few times.
What this I saw a report in the news the other day about the fact that California is having a cooler than normal summer, and the first thing I thought of when I saw that report was the weather in Walnut Creek must be perfect this summer. Confirmed.
Okay, I actually kind of lied to you a bit. I'm not in Walnut Creek because I didn't want to give out my exact location, but it's fine.
Why? You don't want people coming to your house and just knocking? You don't like strangers just showing up unannounced?
I'm actually in Pittsburgh.
You weirdo.
So that's even worse. Pittsburgh is a worse state, worse city.
Is that where you're? Yeah.
No one wants to say they live in Pittsburgh, bro. Especially near
used to, man. Times have changed, dude. I think at this point, if you've got a Bay Area address, it doesn't matter the city, dude. You're in. You know what I'm saying?
So Walnut Creek is the best city near me, so I just say, yo, I'm in Walnut Creek, man.
Yeah. Not Concord, huh? You're skipping.
Oh, Concord is nice, but They're a bit
I hear you. It's always a pleasure, Ishan. TG in the chat writes, offer a solution so we can all hear it instead of saying this sucks. Fair. TJ, I will do that for you in just a second. But I want to let Ishan have anything final to say. Any other thoughts before I let you go? Anything else?
Yeah, like you said, again about the weather. Like we went on this SF tour, like all around downtown. It was great, but it was so cold in the summer.
Well, what's the old Mark Twain saying, right? The coldest winter he ever experienced was the summer in San Francisco. And this is another crazy thing. Like, even though it feels cold this year in California for the summer, this used to be the norm. Like, growing up here, I remember summers not always being balmy and nice. The last 15, 20 years has been a different story. And again, that's, I'm not going to get into climate change and all that, but I actually like this weather, dude. But yeah, San Francisco in the summer can get freezing cold.
We went to the botanical gardens and we could barely walk, man.
Golden Gate Park, dude. Yeah, good stuff.
And then we went by the bridge. We went past it and we went both ways. And we were like, I don't know how to explain. Like at the bus, like you get the outside view, right? Like we were on one of those big buses and wind was just gushing against us the whole time. It was so cold. And it was foggy too. It was not the best weather. We were actually gonna walk on the bridge, but it was not a good idea to do that.
A ringing endorsement for all tourists out there thinking about visiting San Francisco in the summer. All kidding aside, fall is without question in my book. If you're going to if you want to visit San Francisco and you're hoping for ideal weather, wait till September, October, man. It is borderline perfect.
I got one last thing. One last thing.
Of course, don't sorry, you're good. Go ahead.
When the season ended, I'm kind of gonna hold you accountable to this.
Hold me accountable. I welcome it. Yeah.
You said past July 4th, if Steve Kerr is still a member of the Golden State Warriors as the head coach, you would hold. Yeah, you remember. I'm still waiting on that, so I want to.
I will do it. The only reason why I haven't done it yet is because we have. I can't do a show like that without knowing what the Warriors are going to look like next season, right? And that will happen. I promise. Okay, and what Ishan is referring to is an episode I've been hyping up for like 3 years now, almost, and it's when Steve Kerr's gut has gone wrong, and after this recent debacle, I've expanded on that, and that episode's going to be a 24-hour filibuster. It will happen, Ishan. I appreciate you for just even remembering that. It's coming, man. This has to get resolved first, so we have a clear picture of what the Warriors going to look like, and then that episode will drop among a lot of episodes.
I'll be your co-host if anything.
Please do. 24 hours, dude. Like, I know I'm going to need help, so will be welcomed. I promise.
All right. Thank you for your time, Cyrus.
Thank you, brother. Ishan, thank you. Hope to see you again soon, man. And going back to what TG wrote, he wants solutions. And I respect that comment because I hold a lot of people who bitch and whine about things in life. I use the same line. Anybody can complain, right? Opinions are like a-holes. We all got them. Most of us don't want to see them or hear them or smell them. And same applies for bitching and whining about things. And TG, you're absolutely right. That's all I've done so far is just say, wah, this sucks. I'll have a solution for you in just a second. At least some good news. And that's going to come in the form of Anthony Slater, who is now with ESPN. And he also did a show, a hit, if you will, on ESPN, his new employer. And I want to play this clip because this clip is going to lead to the solutions. And then also the professor, Armando Lara, is going to join us in just a second. I see him in the waiting room. I wasn't sure if he was going to make it tonight. I now see him. You're good. You're good. Just sit tight. I'll bring you in just a second. But here is. This is Anthony Slater. He was on ESPN, adding some perspective, if you will, on the Warriors offseason and the lackluster, lack of moves. Sorry for the redundancy there. So Slater provided an update that at least made me insanely happy. And let's hear from Slater providing an update on your Golden State Warriors. This was earlier today as well on ESPN.
All right, let's revisit the top story of the day. Shams reported earlier in our show that Jonathan Kuminga and the Warriors are still in a standoff on a new contract. The Kings and the Suns have reached out for potential sign and trade deals but the Warriors are not interested. Now we welcome in ESPN's new Warriors reporter, Anthony Slater, who's making his NBA Today debut as well. Yay! Claps all around. Welcome, Anthony. No one has been closer to this team than you over the past several years. Kaminga's role has changed throughout his 4 seasons in the league. Currently, as of right now, what is Steve Kerr's perception of Jonathan Kuminga?
You know, Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kuminga, actually, I would categorize as having a decent personal relationship and even improving a little bit. Kerr has been in contact with Kaminga during this process, and I'd say he's one of the leading voices kind of trying to patch this together. But there's a lot of scar tissue, basketball scar tissue, which, you know, has been referenced even on this show. And Kaminga knows that Steve Kerr would plan to play him a lot in the regular season. They would need him to score a bunch, especially with the older team when some of their stars sit. But Jonathan Kuminga also knows that Steve Kerr's history tells him he will go away from him in the playoffs at winning time in big games. And Jonathan Kuminga is no longer wanting to be a plan B, an alternative, a regular season option. He wants to be, you know, a full-time featured guy in an offense. And as much as I think him and Kerr actually do generally get along.
Hold on. I'm going to pause it for just a second because I missed that graphic. And real fast, I just want to highlight for the podcast audience what's showing on the screen as Anthony Slater's saying this. There's a graphic that ESPN is providing here during Slater's answer that shows Kaminga's statistics last season, 2023-24, with and without Stephen Curry. And you see with Curry, Kaminga averaged 13.4 points per game. When Stephen Curry was out, he averaged 20.9 points per game. Kaminga's field goal percentage with Steph on the floor, 43.8. His field goal percentage when Steph was off the floor, 50.5. A little surprising to see his shooting efficiency go up without Curry on the floor, but that also shows to me that he's being more aggressive. He's taking on a bigger role in terms of helping out the Warriors, at least offensively, and it's not hurting the team. If you're shooting 50% or better from the field, that's a good number. Interesting stat. And this combined both the regular season and the postseason, which undoubtedly his numbers got boosted because of that Timberwolves series, but good numbers. I think this boosts Kaminga's argument for his role and for getting a paycheck next year. So sorry to interrupt. Here's more Anthony Slater.
Really get along personally. He knows Kerr's history and coaching him on the court, and that hasn't led to what he has wanted it to lead to.
Yeah, you and I were both at the Rockets Warriors series. He basically did play. This Warriors team, by the way, has 9 players under contract for next season. They're going to have to fill out that roster at some point. What else do you see them prioritizing before training camp, Anthony?
Yeah, Tim said it earlier. All signs point to Al Horford. They're certainly interested in him. I would say if they are not able to get that done, if Horford, who you hear is also mulling retirement, if he's not on the roster next year, it's a big miss by the Warriors because that's in their plans. They need a stretch 5. They're also looking for perimeter defense. There is mutual interest in a reunion with DeAnthony Melton, who played only 6 games for them last year before he tore an ACL, but it was a really good fit. Steph Curry likes him. And they want some extra shooting. Another name I'm hearing with mutual interest, Seth Curry, actually, as a potential bench shooting option with a family tie. And then, you know, the other thing they need is they need youth, they need athleticism, and they need scoring. And Jonathan Kuminga fits that. It's clear Jonathan Kuminga is in their plans, but I'm not sure the Warriors are in Kuminga's plans, and that's what's still trying to get sorted out.
Great stuff. Definitely seems like a fluid situation. Thank you again, Anthony, and welcome to the team. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, an update on Caitlin Clark's injury status and what it could mean for her and the Indiana.
All right, that went long. So there you go. That was Anthony Slater. And I'm going to bring the professor on, Armando Lara, in just a second here. But just to summarize, and going back to what TJ said about solutions, they're already there. The hardest part of all this, and again, this is where I don't understand Lacob and company dragging this thing out, trying to make a point off principle or whatever the guise is for the reasoning. Just pay the man $25 million a year because, as you heard in that report, the Warriors have 9 roster spaces filled. All right. Jonathan Kuminga makes 10 if he's re-signed. The rookie, Will Richard, second-round pick from Florida, would make 11. 12 would be Al Horford. 13 would be DeAnthony Melton. And 14 would be Seth Curry. If this plays out like that, if that is your 2025-26 Golden State Warriors roster, Again, I said this on Twitter, and I will 100% reinforce it here. If you swap out Horford for Chris Boucher, I'm guaranteeing a championship. They have a team that can beat not just the Thunder next year, whose, side note, very important variable when it comes to the OKC Thunder that needs to be taken into account: hunger. There is a damn good reason why no team has repeated as a world champion since 2018. Kevin Durant's second year with the Golden State Warriors. It's a variable that no stat, no analytics will help you out with. But it's a very real variable. And it's hunger. It's who wants it more. And when you win a championship, that hunger dissipates. There is a damn good reason why teams don't repeat and that's one of them. The Warriors, it's going back to that 73 win season, that came after they won the first championship. And that came because all you had in the entire landscape of the NBA, media, fans, players, otherwise, all they were saying was the Warriors are a fluke, that they beat LeBron's Cavs because everyone else was injured. So they came back next year pissed, fired up. They won 73 games. Side note, that is going to be on the when Kerr's gut has gone wrong. That season will come up. But that's the exception, right? That is a testament to just how great of a player Stephen Curry is, where they win a title and he comes back even hungrier. That's not the norm. That is the exception. So when I'm looking at this current landscape next year, there's one team specifically that does scare the shit out of me again, and that's the Denver Nuggets. If Chris Boucher is your 5, I guarantee it, man. I guarantee a championship. If it's Al Horford instead of Chris Boucher, and again, this is just my damn opinion. What the hell do I know? But if it's Al Horford, I'm not at a guarantee level of feeling good about things because dude's 39 years old. He's not the same shot blocking presence Chris Boucher is. So it will depend on his health and whether or not we're going to see a decline from him. 39 makes me very skeptical, but dude, DeAnthony Melton, I don't know, a lot of people don't get excited about Seth Curry. I do. He is a grossly underrated basketball player. Kid can play. I call him a kid. He's like mid-30s. He can play. Seth Curry, Steph's brother, can play basketball. He gives the Warriors shooting. He gives the Warriors tenacity. Very underrated defender. Very underrated ball handler. I know he's 6'3". I don't care. I love it. Sign me up for that. Seth is a good signing. DeAnthony Melton is a good signing. Al Horford, if he stays healthy, is a good signing. Your fix is just to give Kaminga the money. Give him his $25 million. Make him happy. Bring him on board. And let's get this thing going and win a championship. Steph needs 5, and I'm feeling damn good about that lineup. Let's bring Armando Lara, the professor from UC Berkeley, on the show. He's also got a Substack. It's called Sprewell Was Right. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man.
Very good, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. I like how we're all hyped about this small little bit of news. We're like ready. We're ready to talk about it.
Well, and again, I know this is obvious information, but the Warriors' big move was the Jimmy Butler trade. They put most of what they want to do next year in place back in like February, March. Excuse me. Quentin Post is another example of that. Quentin Post. Oh, damn, I sound like spiders creeping around. Anyway, like Quentin Post is another example of someone who came into the picture mid-season, right? I mean, Trace Jackson-Davis was their guy early on, and that's a player I don't know what's going to happen there, side note. But I'm feeling good about him, man. Well, what's your on all the stuff that's happened in the last 24 hours when it comes to Jonathan Kuminga, his agent, trying to save face? Everyone's just trying to save face.
Yeah.
What's your take on all this?
I love you're pointing out the agendas on all sides. Like, you've definitely supported Kaminga, but you're not afraid to critique the process, the agent, and all that stuff. And I totally agree with you. I think the debate is all about the number. I mean, that's our society is like, what's the figure? What's the salary number? And that like determines the value and everything. So everyone's fighting over that. I think I do see a little bit more than you where there's some truth on both sides. Like in the sense that my guess is this isn't like someone throws an offer sheet, like literally a piece of paper. Here's 30 million. No, we want 35. more often than not, my guess is this is like happening through whispers. Like, how would JK feel about 30? And it's like, no, we'd want to see offer sheet at 35, and no official offer has been made. So I do think the agent is maybe not necessarily lying. That
so maybe like semantically, he's being honest.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of like, yes, if like he could say if they had actually offered it to us, technically we would have taken it. We were just saying 35 because we're negotiating as they rightly should be. And then Slater can also report they were talking 30, but it didn't get to the level of like, hey, let's do this, because that's the way I see it, because I think both sides just haven't been happy with the situation. So they weren't going to be happy agreeing on a number, because no one feels like they got to see Kaminga play. Kaminga didn't feel like the world got to see him play. So I tweeted today about a quote he had in January 24th.
I saw that. Let me find that actually, because it was really good. Go ahead. Yeah.
His like, I had to dig for this Kaminga quote, which is just like how unhappy he's been this whole time. And what was crazy, Cy, I had to spend 45 minutes looking for this damn thing. Like, no mainstream media retweeted this quote, put it in any athletic article. I literally had to go through the UC Berkeley library portal to find access to the Marin County Register for this.
You did actual research.
Dude, it's ridiculous. Like, because he's critiquing the coach, to your point earlier. Like, the media is not willing to go there, so it's like blackballed.
I found the clip you're referring to. Let me pull this up so people can see it on the screen, and we'll read it verbatim. You can follow Armando Lara on Threads at Mando_man10. And so who wrote this story? First things first.
Her name is Rubin. Her last name is
Shayna Rubin.
Yes, she covers the Giants now.
So this was when So this was when Shayna was writing for the Mercury News, and she's now the beat reporter covering the San Francisco Giants, I think, for the Chronicle. So that's the source of this. Do you mind if I read this verbatim?
Yeah, dude, go for it.
All right. So and this is an example of this is an example of a lot of things, of Kaminga willing to be open-minded, example of him being a leader on this team. So here we go. I'll go fast, or as fast as I can without mudding this up. Quote, "It came as a shock considering Steve Kerr publicly soured on the idea of playing the pair together after the experiment to start them against the Toronto Raptors went awry." The pair meaning Kaminga and Andrew Wiggins. A week earlier, leaks spilled that Kaminga was frustrated with his playing time and pitched Kerr that the positives of having the pair play together might outweigh the growing pain bumps. He didn't want to compete with Wiggins anymore, but he also saw the upside. Quote, "As a player, I don't want to hear everybody say, oh, JK and Wiggs can't play together," Kaminga said. "So I just wanted to play with the guy more," unquote. "I love sharing the," and it continues, I'm sorry. "I love sharing the court with Wiggs because we both play defense. We both go out there and guard the best players. It's more about getting to know each other, not off the court. We know each other better than anybody, but on the court, we haven't gotten a chance to play together. Even in practice, we aren't on the same team. So it's tough for us to go out there and figure it out. Once we mess up one or two times, the coach won't let that happen. They will try to figure out something that will help us win," unquote. In scrimmages, Kaminga and Wiggins are often on opposing teams guarding each other instead of alongside each other, Kaminga added later. "It takes reps to develop in-game compatibility. Quote, we have to learn from each other. We have to learn what each other likes and how to play together," unquote, Kaminga said. And that finishes up the whole piece. And that's wild, because all that does is show me that's again, and this has been the criticism of Kerr. He has no patience to let things gel, to let things grow together and develop chemistry. Like, Kaminga's literally like fighting for him and Wiggins playing together, and Steve Kerr just had no patience for it. That is some wild shit, man. What am I missing here? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I brought it up because, like, this has been Kaminga's mindset. Like, he knows it. Oh, by the way, what people don't understand is after this quote, they go on to finish the year, the last 30 games playing together, and they go 18-11 to like catch back up to 500 ball because they were playing such loser ball before that. And I just wanted another example of Kaminga actually playing winning basketball for this team. It's not that Kerr doesn't let things marinate. It's that his talent evaluation is wrong. Like the ceiling is playing wings together, Wiggins or Butler and Kaminga together, letting them figure it out, not just throwing shit at the wall and then it not working for a play and then taking it out. But for me, what you said was so true, is that Kaminga's looking at these other guys on their contract offers. And that's why right now he's like, dude, I'm a freaking bargain at 25. Like,
yes.
I think Marcus Thompson had this scoop last week on the plus minus where you have to read between the lines, but basically he was saying everybody thinks that the market has gone down, is pushing these guys down. And he was saying that actually the exact opposite is happening with Kaminga's camp. In fact, because basically they're seeing all these stars get $70 million. Like, right.
Least.
Like,
yeah.
Right. Like Booker and Shea, all the Thunder guys. Right. And like for Kaminga's, like, he knows he's not as good as those guys, but he's at least half as good as those guys. That's what Thompson said. And like, so the numbers actually dude, I'm a freaking bargain at 30. Like,
and again, you look at these are the contracts where Kaminga and Aaron Turner, his agent, these are the ones they're specifically looking at. And then looking at Steve Kerr and thinking to themselves, undoubtedly, thanks for costing us hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah. Jalen Green, $146 million guaranteed. And he got that well before there were even any strong signs that he was going to be a decent player. We still don't know what Jalen Green's going to be ultimately. He might be a total bust, but he's still got $146 million guaranteed. Jalen Suggs, point guard out of Gonzaga. He's been injured. I don't know how often playing for the Orlando Magic. I don't think he even has a three-point shot, at least not one that's reliable. I know his specialty's defense. Side note, Kaminga can play defense as well, and a lot more. Jalen Suggs got $180 million guaranteed. And then Franz Wagner, who was after Kaminga, getting $247 million guaranteed. And the Warriors are balking at like $80 million. Yeah. And they're going, I don't know about 80. Like, it's like, come on, dude. Just pay the kid. Pay the kid and let this thing just move on. I don't know. Anything you want to add, Terry?
Yeah. No. Just on the number, like, what's the reason why the Warriors would give him more money? I have a good reason. Like the everyone thinks like, and I think this is the Warriors thing since they lowballed Draymond and they lowballed Andrew Wiggins on the cheap. Like, hey, look, we're playing hardball with everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a star. We're giving you 27 because we fly the family members on a separate plane. We're the premier organization. You're lucky to be with us. So, sign for the cheap on us. And we're even going to do that for the stars. So like their strategy is business. Go see what the market you can get in the market and then come back to us. The problem is they're outthinking themselves a little bit on this one. And it's what you said a few minutes ago. You want a happy Kaminga because if they don't play Kaminga 30 minutes a game next year, they're going to be in the fucking lottery. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
And I think the front office knows that. Probably the coach knows it. He just won't admit it publicly. But the way you're going to do that is by paying the guy $30 million. If you let him get to the qualifying, he's playing not to get hurt next year. He's not. It's going to be a terrible situation. So I don't get the trying to offer him 20 right now. Like you're not. If you really do think this guy's the future, then pay it. Then show it.
Exactly.
And like they're kind of. Even if he signs it, like there's always going to be that grudge, right? And I think they're like outthinking themselves. Like we paid Curry less than his value on his first contract, kind of thing. Like, let's do that again.
And two things Armando I want to add to that. One is when I learned that Joe Lacob initially did not offer Stephen Curry a fifth year. And let's go back a few years here. Stephen Curry was eligible for the 5-year Supermax. Like he was eligible for the whole package. And it's a huge reason why he's currently the highest paid player in the NBA in terms of annual salary. Like next year, he's going to have the biggest contract in the NBA. I think Devin Booker is going to take over in like 2 years with that $70+ million a year. These salaries are going to be absurd in a short time. But with that said, I bring that up because when Stephen Curry was negotiating that contract extension, and it's wild that I'm even using the word negotiating because you'd think with Stephen Curry, all you got to do is say, here's the most you can make, just sign the paper. That's not what Joe Lacob was thinking. Joe Lacob initially did not want to offer the 5th year. When I learned that, and the fact that Stephen Curry was about to get upset over it before Joe said, fine, here's a 5th year. You're going to get $60 million in that 5th season at the age of 38 or 39, whenever it's going to expire. When I learned that, Armando, I don't know about you, that was like all the confirmation I needed that Joe Lacob does not just hand money out. That it doesn't matter who it is, Joe Lacob is a shrewd negotiator, and for better or worse. And you're also absolutely right that I'm pretty sure they teach this in introductory business classes, that if your employees are happy, production increases, right? It's like the standard for a business model where you want morale to be high for your workforce. And this is not going to produce high morale. I also, let me know what you think about this theory. My personal theory in all this, because I do think, despite the all the hand wringing and all the back and forths, I really do think Kaminga is going to come back. And I really do think ultimately Joe is going to give him the $25 million. I really do think that. And let me know if you think this theory is out of whack or not. I think what we're seeing in the public in regards to these negotiations, and you see Shams and you see Slater writing and talking, and social media is on fire right now about this topic. I think in reality, behind the scenes, and Slater did hint to this, that there is not the animus that I think is being portrayed here. And I think ultimately when Kaminga gets the money that he wants, everyone's going to be happy. It's all going to be copacetic. And everything we've been talking about here for 2 months is going to be water under the bridge. That's my theory. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think on that last point, man, it's been well known that Kaminga loves actually playing for the Warriors, like the organization. Like, players like it other than the coach. I'll stand by that. They do not like playing the coach. That's why we don't get the guys that we want all the time. But the kind of the organization, how they take care of you, I think, and I have read that, you know, they're very aware of how long Coach Kerr's contract extensions for. And I think, like, that's not lost on them, that this present situation is not forever. And this is a big market, and this is a Pacific market. There's a reason why you'd want to be here. Yeah. And I think people forget often that these players with aspirations for the high level, like, their employer is not the team actually at that level. Like, their employer is Nike. Their employer is a China shoe contract. Like, that's the kind of stuff these guys are actually, they're aspirational for. And it helps to be on the Warriors with that. So, like, that is worth that. And so I totally agree with you. Like, there's a number where they make this work. Sai, I'll let you chime in again. I have so much to say, but, like, one thing I keep reading about.
I've been talking to you forever, man. I'm guessing that people want to hear you too. So go ahead.
On social media, like, and you often see the slippage on the Kawakami articles and the ESPN articles, like, or the Tim McMahon's, like, you know, he's not being offered the contract he wants. It's just not there. That's quote unquote Tim Kawakami. It's just not there. The issue is that the entire league knows the Warriors are going to match whatever comes out their way.
Yes.
And so no one is going to use assets to clear cap space to offer him something when there's no guarantee that they can get him. The Warriors would match a $38 million contract if he got it. They're not losing the asset. And that's...
Dude, Joe Lacob is daring Kaminga to get that deal. That's part of his stance. And I don't think it's making Kaminga happy, but that is part of Joe's approach in these negotiations. If you think you're worth this, go get it, because then we'll pay it. That's his mentality here. But again, going back to what you're saying, is like, you want a happy employee here too. Do you, by the way, Armando, let me ask you this. Charardoll, first of all, thank you so much for the shout out. I'm a fan of yours. The link is in the chat. If anybody wants to jump on, Charardoll, yourself included, we could use your energy, man. It's been a while. You're welcome to come on the show. Desirio, if I'm pronouncing your name right, writes in all caps, "Do not pay the kid." Why? I literally posted the link so that instead of just writing a comment like that, you could come on the show and have some discourse with us and articulate in your words why you think the team should not pay Jonathan Kuminga. Because I'm guessing what you mean by that is let him go and move on. And if that's the case, for what? For who? Right? A TG or whoever that was early in the show was asking for solutions, right? So, okay, you don't want to re-sign Kaminga? what is your solution there? Because there aren't a whole lot of options in terms of trades. He is better than what you may think he is. And this also leads to Palmetto Money asking that with all these other restricted free agents, we've got Cam Thomas of the Brooklyn Nets, Quentin Grimes, who I think was with Philly last year, Josh Giddey, who's with the Bulls. All of them are restricted. And Palmetto's asking, would you, if we were the GM, Armando, would we consider trading Kaminga for any of those assets? My answer, hell to the F and no. Kaminga's just considerable levels ahead of these guys. To me, that's just my opinion. Now, if you're including, like, let's say a first-round pick in next year's draft, yeah, Josh Giddey would probably be someone I'd consider. But outside of some other things enticing me, no. I think I'm guessing this is how the Warriors feel as well. But I don't know your thoughts on all that.
No, dude, you're dead on. Like, I think people who think the Warriors are going to trade him for a rotation player, even plus a first-round pick, like, they don't get what's going on. And all these like trade machines with, Grayson Allen or Kobe White or whoever's on the Kings, like, that ain't happening. That's Jonathan Kuminga's camp trying to come up with a trade negotiation and leaking it in the public. To me, that's what's going on. The Warriors have known from the start they're not trading this guy for anything less than an all-star package because they actually think he's a franchise level player. The front office thinks that. It's just the coach that does it. And that's what people are getting this twisted. The Warriors front office is treating him like an all-star in trade negotiations, but they're trying to pay him like a role player internally. Right. That's exactly what's happening. People you're not seeing the agendas when you're getting worked up about all this leaks.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And again, it's a crazy market. This is where, I don't really express much opinion on Clutch, right? The player management group, but hats off, or at least tip of the cap.
Yeah.
Because my hair is a mess. I don't want to take my hat off right now, but tip of the cap to Rich Paul and Clutch for getting Brandon Ingram that contract. If Brandon Ingram was an unrestricted free agent right now, he'd be effed. Like no one is paying this guy more than $10 million. Cam Thomas, for example, reportedly got an offer from Brooklyn recently, 2 years, $28 million that he scoffed at. The same Cam Thomas who went off on Zach Lowe on Twitter last week. I don't know if you saw that. He was very unhappy about some comments because he wants to get paid. None of these guys want to get negative attention brought to them in this precarious moment in their lives. But the market is crazy, man. And props to Clutch. And this is where, again, why Aaron Turner, I think some criticism is deserved for letting his client get to this position. I think the same criticism applies to the other agents who represent Cam Thomas, who represent Josh Giddey. Like, how did you not read the tea leaves? And it's not even tea leaves, it's a spreadsheet. How did you not look at the spreadsheet and realize no one's going to have space this year? Like, that is incompetency, dude. Like, you did something very wrong there, and Clutch did something very right in realizing we got to get this guy paid now. And kudos, because Brandon Ingram is going to make $40 million a year for the next 4 or 5 years, and he would get a fraction of that this season otherwise. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like
no cap 753. Look, 757. The link is available. Come on the show and say that. At least me personally, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a JK stan. What I am saying is that this kid has been robbed of opportunities time and time and time again. When he does play, the numbers show he produces. When he plays 30-plus minutes a game, he's putting up over 21 points per game. Sorry to interrupt you there, Armando. Average better than 6 rebounds per game. Shoots over 37% from 3. Every time he plays, great things happen, and he's been robbed of opportunities. I'm not a JK stan. All I'm sitting here saying is, name a better option out there right now. If you don't like him, propose a trade. Propose something that's realistic where the Warriors don't come out as huge losers in that transaction. And B, if you're not a JK stan, and that's fine, that's your right, why do you hate him? This is the part, again, everybody who criticizes this kid, everybody who is not a big Kaminga fan, all of their rhetoric, all of the arguments, the narratives are based on opinions that originate from Kerr and the inherent bias that emerges with every decision he makes There's nothing measurable that indicates that this kid cannot play in the grand scheme of things. There is no evidence other than what your eyes are apparently telling you that is different than what the eyeballs of pro basketball players, current and former, are saying. Find me a single basketball player who played in the NBA who doesn't think Kaminga is legit. If you find me that, maybe I'll start understanding the rhetoric a little more. But all the people who actually know basketball, none of them are hating on this guy. The only person who's hated on him is Steve Kerr and local media who completely worship Steve Kerr. That's it. Everyone else who knows basketball is singing praises for this kid. So where are you coming from with the negativity? And again, all I'm saying is, what are your options? Sorry to interrupt you, but it's just like, come on the show. Do you want to, Armando, do you want to finish your thought and then we'll bring Shogun on?
Sure. I lost my train of thought, but you just made me think about the time that
I'm sorry.
Kaminga did a ISO dunk on Jason Tatum, and after the game, Jason Tatum tweeted, "Kaminga is going to be good for a long time." I like when I hear folks like that, they're not watching. They're part of the NBA viewership decline. I'll just put it lightly.
I don't know if Shogun is new. But welcome to the program, Shogun. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Nice. What's on your mind?
So I was just my thoughts on the Kaminga trade. I've just been hearing so many people on Twitter say to just dump Kaminga and let him go, and I just think like absolutely not. I just don't think that he fits in this Steve Kerr system, and I just think that we should pay him the money, because we can't trade him, because all 29 other teams know that we desperately want Kaminga out, and they're gonna offer not gonna offer that much players or anything anything worth the value, any first round picks. We're probably gonna get one of maybe a second round pick, or from the Kings Monte Ellis and some. I just think that he's just an amazing player, and we've seen this when Curry was out. He dropped 30 points against the Timberwolves when Curry was gone. I just think that in this system in the Warriors, he won't fit, and I just think that's Steve Kerr's fault. I just know disrespect to Kaminga or any of the Warriors players. I just think Steve Kerr is not utilizing him right as he the second timeline was never going to work. And
well, let me ask you this, Shogun.
Yeah.
If you know, because this is a real possibility that this could be like Steve Kerr's last year, or maybe this is his second to last year, right? Knowing the fact that Kerr, his days are numbered with the Warriors, does that change your opinion at all on Kaminga's future with the Warriors? Because at some point Kerr's gone, and Kaminga could be 25, just hitting his peak. Does that idea not excite you?
It does, actually. I just think that he with a new system and a new coach to just bring out the best in Kaminga, we can probably see him be one of the main rotation and one of the top guys in the Warriors lineup. And I just think the idea is just, I think he could do a lot with the Warriors, and he could truly help us, because he's just been helping us in little parts, and he's not fully able to show his gift. And I just and we've seen a glimpse of Kaminga, of his potential in the Timberwolves series, when Steve Kerr trusted him just for a brief time when Stephen Curry was out. And I just think that he fully showed what he's capable of, and I don't think we should trade him at all.
And again, if you're going to trade him, at least just it better be a worthwhile trade. We're not just getting killed.
Something that would help us win now.
I wonder, but no cap 757. And side note, I hope you didn't take that no cap as me jumping on you or anything there, but I just don't understand it. There's just such a significant part of Dub Nation that doesn't like Kaminga, and that's just wild to me. And the roots of it are complex, but I think we have the answers, and it's largely an inherent bias that comes from a head coach that has won over a lot of people, and the decisions he makes creates an influence. But no cap, with that said, I like that he brought this up, because no cap, if I remember you correctly, you love Jordan Poole, and he writes in the chat that he despises Draymond Green because his punch really just destroyed everything in the grand. I mean, that punch was disastrous. You could argue it ended the dynasty. It just destroyed it. But it also is why Draymond is so loyal to Kerr, right? And I bring that up because Draymond Green, a month or so ago, he was on his podcast and he literally said he didn't agree with Steve Kerr in regards to not playing Kaminga, heavy minutes. And Draymond Green repeating what we say on this show. Let's see it. Why don't we actually see the guy play consistently and then form judgments, right? So Draymond Green will routinely go public disagreeing with Kerr, but he still has his back. And I think this is an example right there. In that very precarious moment for a lot of people's lives, they could have easily just vilified Draymond after that. They could have suspended him, and it probably would have been the right thing to do. But the ring ceremony thing complicated everything. It was on opening night. I don't know why they couldn't have pushed that back. I don't know. A lot of what ifs there. But with all that said, my point is Draymond's loyalty is largely because Kerr has come to his defense in moments like that. And it just made me think of that. And it does suck that Jordan Poole's gone. I agree.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So do you think the reason why Jordan Poole declined, like his overall production to the Warriors declined because of what the incident happened with Draymond?
Big time. Oh yeah. I mean, it's that season was ruined after that. It didn't help that Kerr was just playing two-way players. Like that's not like that season is why I don't look at the front office and point to them first. That season is where it all just kind of was like, what the F is going on here, man? Like two-way players getting legitimate minutes. That whole season was a nightmare, dude. It was. Shogun, where are you at in this world, man? Where are you?
I'm in California, the Bay Area.
Whereabouts? We're in California.
Oakland.
Dude, I like that. Have you been on the show before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, dude, I love Oaktown, man. That's and Armando right here is a professor at Berkeley. I went to high school in the East Bay, so East Bay represent. What's up? What are you up to? How's your summer?
It's good.
Awesome. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just think that Steve Kerr just ruined the second timeline plan, and it's just I kind of blame him for all this happening. Like, and then also I have to give some hate to the front office for trading Jordan Poole for Chris Paul and the bag of chips. So it's just that's some frustrating. There's like accountability to share with both Steve Kerr not giving minutes. Like I don't even think Steve Kerr himself believes in the second timeline at all. And I just think the front office and Steve Kerr, they need to be in alignment. They need to work together, not be separate, because the ideas going forward are like different. So hopefully, Steve Kerr retires soon and they keep Jordan Poole. They sign him, give him his money, and we see him blossom.
Let's just hope. I just want this season to. I'm so excited for what could be, man. The potential is so real. This is such a bullshit, unnecessary distraction, dude. Just pay the kid. Pay the kid. Get him in a uniform. Have him in the Bay Area working with the team. Get Melton signed. Get Seth Curry signed. Horford, Boucher, Bol. I don't know who the big is that you saw. Whoever it is, get him on board. I'm excited about this team next year, man. Because here's a huge reason why I'm pumped. And Armando, I'll let you answer this first. And Shogun while he's here. I'm insanely pumped because if Kaminga does come back, he's gonna play, right? All this back and forth, all this arguing, negotiating, a lot of it is coming down to Kaminga just saying, I want to play. And my quote, my adage on this show for 2+ years has been, great things happen when Kaminga plays. We're about to have a whole season of that. I'm elated, dude. And you're adding Seth Curry. You're bringing DeAnthony Melton, who, again, hopefully pushes Brandon Podziemski to his natural position, which is off the bench as a backup point guard. Things could be right, man. All of this could be just a bad dream that fades away in memory, man. That could easily happen. There is potential to be ecstatic about this upcoming season. Armando, do you follow me, or are you not as excited about the potential of these Golden State Warriors?
Look, if JK is playing 25 to 30 minutes a game with the best players on the court at the same time, not to raise the floor, but to expand their ceiling, the team can go far. And I've thought that for 3 years. Every time the kid plays big minutes with the best players on the court, they win big.
Yes, sir.
That's been a known, proven thing. And it ain't just the Minnesota series. Y'all need to keep up with it. But the thing is, if he doesn't play, if he's back on the 18-minute, playing with what kind of players, then what I think people need to prepare themselves for what it's going to look like at the trade deadline. like things could go south. This team has been a 10th seed recently.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
And like at the trade deadline, think about this. Think about this situation. They're not playing well. One of the 3 vets is injured. And you got a 38, 36, 35-year-old player on max contract. We're talking $60 million contracts. In that situation, they're going to have to attach assets to those vets to get them off. We're talking about Kaminga is the one guy they're not going to trade. They're going to trade everyone else but him. So I think people need to take a step back. Like there's a struggle between the coach and the front office right now. And that's
big time. Oh, it's been there for a couple. I mean, again, Bob Myers, man, wanted nothing to do with this. Good timing, respect. All that did was show me how smart he really is. Shogun, any final thoughts from you? Are you pumped about this season if everything falls into place as we hope?
I am excited about this season and this upcoming season. I hope we sign DeAnthony Melton and all the other with some vet minimums, and to pay them their money so we can get this championship. Also, some final thoughts is Jimmy Butler, who's making $50 mil a year, played more minutes in the regular season and in the playoffs compared to Jimmy Butler, and versus Kaminga, and when Kaminga and Jimmy Butler both played in the Timberwolves series, we saw who averaged more points and who played better on the field. And one of them's getting paid $50 mil, and one of them is betting for at least how much money? 25 mil, 20 mil, and the front office is being stingy about paying him, but they didn't hesitate to pay Jimmy Butler 50 mil during the trade deadline last year. So I just need to they need to understand where the priorities are. There's a young, talented player in Kaminga who's up and coming, who's shined in the big moments, and there's Jimmy Butler making 50 mil. He averaged 10 points in the Timberwolves series. I'm just wondering, is this unfortunately, is this the start of the decline of the Jimmy Butler? And if that is, then we're gonna be in a rough time. That's my final thoughts.
Yeah. We shall. Shogun, come back soon. All right. You represent Oaktown proudly, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shogun. Have a good night. Armando, I feel like the best way to end the show. Oh, well, hold on. I don't mean to be negative here. But we got a couple other people who want to come on the show real fast. Charardoll, sit tight because we're going to end with you. That's the only way to do it. So Charardoll, sit tight there. Let's get Coffee on the program as we start to wrap it up here. Coffee, also from Oakland, I believe. Or is it Coach? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Never mind, brother.
This is my first time joining. I comment, from time to time and whatnot, and I just want to give you your props because, you're always on top of things when it comes to, really trying to paint a clear picture.
Man. Thank you.
Right? I'm 38 years old, but I'm old enough to remember when the Warriors really sucked, and I remember what it used to feel like, being a Warriors fan surrounded by all my friends that were Laker fans, And now that I've had this 10 to 15 year window where we've been relevant, I've been trying to absorb all of this because I know what 7 years look like.
Yeah.
We used to be the Washington Wizards where players' careers going to come to die,
Bro. And you're not kidding. You're not exaggerating about that. The younger folks and all those that jumped on when the dynasty started, they have no clue, dude. No it was bad. For 30, bro, not for 40 years. 40. When 2015 happened, literally until the very end of that game 6, I could not believe this was happening. It was one of the most surreal moments. Everyone brings up 2022, and I'd love to get both of your thoughts on this. Everyone calls 2022 the best of the 4 titles, and I'm not sitting here pushing back hard, but 2015 has a special place for me, dude, because I just never thought I'd see one of them, let alone 4. And Armando will ask you as well. Coffee, which one of the 4 do you like? Do you
I like 2015 because of where I was at. I was in Grizzly Peak listening on the radio, actually. Listening to the game on the radio at Grizzly Peak, smoking, right? And I'm like in shock. I'm like, damn, this is really happening. And then I went back. When I got back home, I literally rewatched the whole game. Because I needed to see this for real time. That meant so much because now I can actually walk around with my chest out. I can actually feel proud wearing my jerseys, wearing my Mookie Blaylock jersey that I still got. And you know what I'm saying? In my John Starks jersey, which was like one of my favorite point guards the Warriors had, even though we had him when he was a little bit older. But I felt good being able to, you know, be out there loud and proud as a Warriors fan. So I look at like the stuff that's happened the last couple of years. Honestly, I think the Warriors have just been overthinking it time and time again. Like the 2 timeline, I believe, was going to work, but you needed to, you know, give it some time to brew. Like, for instance, the Spurs, they didn't miss the playoffs for 20 years straight, right?
That's crazy.
They didn't miss the playoffs at all, right? How many times did that roster turn over? They had rookies, they had undrafted players, they had some off-brand players I never heard of, but they were always putting them guys in and trying to let them figure it out. And I'm even thinking about now with the Spurs now, right? Tim Duncan's gone, Ginobili Parker's gone. They went through a lull for a couple of years. You're not going to win it every year, but now you end up getting Wemby. You got some veterans on the team now. You even found some other young players that you didn't even know. Like Steven Castle last season, that was a surprise out of nowhere. Like we didn't know what that was. He got in there and started going. And now you convince some other vets around the league, like, okay, this is a place where we need to go. You know, so I just, you know, for me, I'm like, that's the same thing. You had Jordan Poole here, who was better than Pods, quite frankly. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually wash each other out. They both don't really play defense like that. But at least I know with Jordan Poole, he's gonna get a basket. You know, we know he's gonna get a basket and he gonna figure it out on defense. He's gonna do his best on defense, you know. And then you got a young player like Kaminga. Like, I think any other coach around the league would have said, I'm unable to fit Kaminga on this team, they would have got fired. But for some reason, you know, Steve Kerr gets a pass on that, and that's unacceptable, right? Like
and Coffee, I thought about this a lot, dude, because the question I've asked myself repeatedly is why does Kerr get this huge pass? And this is the best answer I could come up with is when you go through what Joe and Kerr and Steph and those guys, when you experience those 4 championships together, my guess is you develop a special camaraderie, brotherhood that I don't think we can truly ever understand, right? I mean, that's such a unique experience to have. And something tells me like that keeps winning out is that they're putting like their emotions over maybe what's most logical, you know?
That's why I have so much respect for the Spurs, right? Because I'm pretty sure they were attached to their big 3, right? But for somehow, somewhere, they were willing to be like, you know what? Let's keep bringing in players. And let's keep it like, and then we're going to keep winning because we have a system and a culture in place, you know. But yeah, we got this second rounder here. He looked talented. Let's see what he can do, and puts him out there and actually puts him in the position to thrive. We drafted a lottery player from the Congo. Like, if there's anybody that understands struggle and has worked his way up to that,
hell yeah, dude.
Somebody that deserves an opportunity to prove himself, right?
Hell yeah, dude.
Been given a chance to do so, but we know that is there. And that Timberwolves series might have worked in Kuminga's favor in a real way, because had he not done that, then we'd be probably having a different conversation right now.
That's a good point.
So I hope Kaminga, you know, stands his ground and really pushes them to truly commit to him. Otherwise, because if he accepts anything less, then that's not going to be good for anybody. So that's all I really wanted to share. Yeah.
I wanted to underline one thing you said about the Spurs. They actually did it twice.
Come on now.
Because people don't remember that first iteration of that team was the Twin Towers. It was D-Rod,
David Robinson, and
they were posting up 20 times a game. Then they had Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili come in,
right? Because that's after Avery Johnson and Sean Elliott and them. If I remember, I was young then, but I remember them.
Everybody had to convince. Oh, are we going to do pick and rolls? But then that's taken away from Tim Duncan. It was a big thing. But then they did it. They put the ball in Tony Parker's hands, and then it happened again when they had Kawhi Leonard, when they brought a wing in. So they actually did it twice, something that is hurting the end of Steph Curry's career. They're not.
Well, I don't know if you guys agree with this sentiment or not. Like Bill Belichick used to always famously say that he doesn't force players into his system. He adjusts the system for the players. I think that's one of Kerr's weaknesses here, is that I don't see the adjustments being made to maximize the potential and talent you have on your roster. He basically thinks that his system is the Bible of NBA basketball, and either you can thrive in it or you don't fit. And that rigidity just doesn't work, man. It worked initially, but I think at this point, it's a problem.
Oh, I did want to add one more thing too about the Bob
Please.
Myers hate too, because I've been wanting to say something for like a couple weeks now, because I know Bob Myers has come up in conversation. I tell people that 2015 season, I can't remember which was the Harrison Barnes draft, because I know he gets a lot of flack. But that Harrison Barnes draft, there was 3 players in that draft actually that got drafted that kicked this whole dynasty off.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And most people focus on Harrison Barnes and Draymond Green in second round. But Festus Ezeli with the 30th pick was crucial, right? Because he came in already a 7-footer, athletic, can play defense and rebound, and had his body not betrayed him, we might also be having a different conversation about how this team looks right now, or whatnot. But that really kicked it off. Like that Harrison Barnes draft is like when you say, oh, he doesn't draft well or he didn't do well drafting players. If that doesn't happen, we don't get to where we are now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely right. No, that 20 and again, Harrison Barnes turns into KD, who turns into Andrew Wiggins, who turns into Jimmy Butler, and this is where we are.
Harrison Barnes was legit, and to you guys were talking about 15 versus 22. I actually enjoyed 2016 the most because that was when they pushed. That season was like they could literally break the record, and they could do it with. Like, not only is this team the up-and-coming young team that none of the East Coast media cares about, that has already won a championship, and it was being discounted because, Kyrie Irving's trash was injured and Kevin Love's trash was injured. But 2016 came around, and these guys, it was the same team winning 73 games. That was fun. That was a fun year.
I'm in my dorm at UCLA because I'm a non-traditional student at the time. And when Steph Curry hit that 3 in OKC, the double bang, that's like my favorite. Like in my lifetime, that's the most
regular season game. That regular season game, right? Yeah,
It's good memory.
Oh my god,
good memory. Coffee, come back on the show soon, will you?
Yeah, most definitely. Thanks for having me.
It was very nice to meet you, man. And Oaktown is representing strong tonight. 2 more, and then we got to roll. And Desiree, I think he's the one that said get rid of Kaminga. I'm glad you're here. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Are you? You're the guy called Guy Santos Gooey, right?
Yep, that's me. Yeah.
I love it. So why do you want Kaminga gone so bad? What's going on, brother?
No, I just want to clarify. I don't want Kaminga gone. I just don't want him to be like paid an enormous amount like that he wants, or even like that you're expecting. I would like the ballpark of like 20 mil. Maybe even
be
lower.
Happy with 20, but 25 is too much.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at 25. I would be mad at 30 though. 30 is like.
He's not getting 30, so you could feel you're safe there. He's not getting 30.
Yeah. And I don't even hate
Kaminga, dude.
Honestly, I don't even hate Kaminga. I think he's a great player that has a lot of potential. It's just like the problem is the fit with us, Steve Kerr, and just like the system that we run. And honestly, I feel it would just be better for him to actually just like take the qualifying offer, just bet on himself, just like from his perspective, not from our perspective, because if he does that, we're doomed. We're gonna lose him for nothing. And
someone wrote, I don't know if it was Slater or who it was, but someone wrote that Kaminga is actually contemplating that path, and that, which is crazy if that happens. But sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, that would be horrible. But I just feel like if we can, I want to see more games with him, Steph, and Jimmy. I just want to see how it would work, because during like when Jimmy came, it wasn't like it didn't look good. It's because first of all, Jimmy's a non-shooter too, so like the spacing wasn't like as much as you wanted it, so that was already bad. And with Jimmy coming, like he does everything in essence what JK does. He's an ISO scorer. He gets that ISO part of that ISO Tara motion offense, what JK does too. I mean, he's less athletic, but he has a better IQ. His defensive IQ is amazing. He's getting older, but his defense is still. Him and Draymond it's amazing. So, I mean, I wouldn't start JK. I would bench him, but I would love to see minutes. Like, I want him to come back. I want to see how it works. If it doesn't work, just trade him. You know what I'm saying? But the trade options are horrible right now. I'm looking at the Suns and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know what the Suns are.
It's not what you want.
Like, what are the Suns going to offer? Like, that's like Phoenix. I mean, I'm guessing you answer the call just to hear it, and then you put them on mute and laugh the whole time. I don't know how that works, dude.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like
it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, but the thing is, I've been hearing some chatter about like disrespecting Jimmy and stuff, saying Kaminga outperformed. I think it was the first caller that said that, and I just disagree with that. Honestly, Jimmy was injured. He was carrying us at the heavy part of the last season, so I can't blame Jimmy. Jimmy's an amazing player. You saw what he did to the East in the last before he left Miami. He controlled the East. So
I want to share this. I want to share this Twitter account because I got enlightened to this recently. This is the handle is ERNNY the man. So it's Ernie the man, but Ernie is spelled ERNNY. I had no idea who this guy was at first, and I'm seeing him tweet just random things that all these folks were retweeting, and I'm like, who the F is this guy? Why do you guys give this person so much weight? And it turns out he's one of Jimmy Butler's best friends, might be his best friend. He goes everywhere with Jimmy, and he's been tweeting some crazy shit. And I would think this person is hearing some direct from the source type content. So this person writes, and it's been an entertaining follow, that Grayson Allen isn't even a possibility. According to Ernie the man, who's Jimmy Butler's best friend, the Suns are not offering Grayson Allen because even they know that would be insulting. So anyways, my point is, and he's calling out accounts that are publishing fake information. My point is, Ernie the man, good job on Twitter. I've been enjoying your follow, and he acknowledges that it's ludicrous to include Grayson Allen. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So honestly, I would just take him off from the bench, sees how he plays with Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, just see how it works. If it doesn't work, just trade him. Because honestly, I mean, he's an amazing player, but it doesn't fit with us. You know what I'm saying? He's an amazing player.
I hear you. So and hopefully, Desiree, if I'm pronouncing that right, it does fit. And it could fit. That's the beauty of all this. You can make it work. It's not something that's like impossible. And let's hope that it does, because I think it will benefit everybody in the process. And
then like for the fans that are trying to pay him a lot, I don't really understand it. If you can lowball a player, you lowball him. You know what I'm saying? You create more cap space so you could get other better players. It's common sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't lowball him too much, but if you could get him at 20 mil, that's a deal, honestly. And he doesn't really, his market hasn't been that good, so that would be good. And like get Al Horford, stretch big. You know what I'm saying? Develop Quinn and Post. It's looking good. I'm telling you, it's looking good. But just don't overpay him. And it's
I'm here.
Good. We'll
and
see.
all I'll say, Desiree, is if they end up at $25 million a year, I personally don't think that's overpaying him. You're not going to cripple yourself in terms of the salary cap like 3 years from now. I hope this comes to a resolution, and I'm with you in terms of the optimism. Armando, anything? I feel like anything you want to add or any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be quick. I know you want to get through, but I disagree with a few things. But one thing I want to point out is that 20 mil is literally in like 2 years going to be the mid-level exception.
Good point.
So everybody in the league knows that, and it's not like the high number.
Good point.
And they don't fit. They have Draymond Green even said it. We haven't seen it. We need to see these guys play together.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen is people need to, what I predict at the beginning of the season, if people are healthy, those guys are going to play together and they're going to win big. They're going to win big playing together. It may not look pretty. It may not look like the caller saying it might fit. They won big at the beginning of the last season, starting Kaminga and Trace Jackson Davis. They were blowing out teams by 30 in the third quarters, but it didn't look right. It didn't look smooth, so they went away from it. But that's what we mean by adjusting the system. Maybe it doesn't look the way it went. Maybe it doesn't look like the three-man weave offense at the top of the key, but they're getting stops and deflections and dunks, and it's easy basketball. That's what it's going to take to transition the mindset of the people who are making decisions on who's on the court.
Desiree, are you good, man? I got to eat dinner, dude. I want to wrap the show up, and we got Charardoll waiting. Desiree, any final thoughts before we go?
Yeah, I just wanted to just reply to one thing. And I heard you say, like, it could be the mid-level exception. And, yeah, I understand that. But, I mean, like, from a Warriors standpoint, like, you want to, like lowball player, you want to pay him less than, like, his actual market. You know what I'm saying? Like, they paid him, like, Steph, like hecka cheap. And just paying him like that, if it created a whole dynasty. So, I understand, it's 20 mil is not a lot, I understand that. But still, it's like, if you could lowball a player, if you could get it for cheap, like, why not? You know what I'm saying? So why not? So, yeah.
I hear it. And again, what Armando is trying to say, and I follow and I totally agree, is that the salary cap, and they actually have rules in place. The most it can go up on a year-by-year basis is 10%. But it's going to keep going up. Like that, like it's going to go up 10%, 10%, 10%. And 25 million a year now, 3 years from now, is going to be cheap, which is, again, that's psychotic, dude. This whole that's literal inflation for you right there. So yeah, 25 million will not cripple the Warriors. And Desiree, come back soon. By the way, before you go, Desiree and Charardoll, I see you. You're going to come on. We're going to finish with you, dude. No one, and I mean no one, is talking about Gui Santos. I love the kid. I think what he did last year was grossly underrated. I think he can build on that, and I think he could be an important rotation piece. I don't mean like 30 minutes, but 15 to 20 minutes a night coming off the bench, giving you energy with some size and ball handling skills and clutch baskets. And dude, I love Gui. Sign me up, and I'm always going to call him Gui just because of you, Desiree. Any final thoughts from either of you before we bring Charardoll on and wrap it up?
I mean, the Warriors are I just hope we're going to be deep. If we get the Anthony Melton, Horford.
Hell yeah, dude.
Deep.
Hell
so,
yeah.
You know, the deep teams, the teams with depth, they're the ones that win. You saw the OKC. You saw these teams. So, Steph, we got one of the best players, top 5, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion. And, hey, we're going to see. And I just hope the Warriors just, like, clean this, get JK, his deal, whatever. Just find a solution. Get Horford, get Melton, get Seth. Just finish up the roster so we can be chill when we start training camp and just, have a good season. 50 wins, 60 wins, something like that. Be a 3rd seed, and Steph is gonna do his magic. Let's get that 5th one. That's all I gotta say.
Beautiful, dude. He nailed it. Desiree, you nailed it. Armando, are you ready for Charardoll?
Let's do it, man.
I need to add a drum roll button because so I can properly segue into. What's up?
You need a Charardoll graphic and sponsor.
I need a Charardoll graphic. I need something like all I have are these little sound bites.
You can't handle the truth.
We got Moses Moody.
Oh, I mean, it sucks.
We got
ignorant. You're being ignorant.
Park in there, but I don't have anything for Charardoll. I will figure it out. Charardoll, welcome. It's been a long time. How's your summer, dude? How's your summer going?
My summer's going great.
Good.
Thanks for asking.
Shut up.
Thanks for asking, Cy. Really appreciate it. Love your channel. Love your channel, bro. Keep grinding, making Warriors content. You're my brother from another mother. I love you.
Love you, brother. Right back.
Love you, brother.
I'm going to interrupt you 1 second because I saw this in the chat. And if I see this, oh, my neck, my back, my neck, and my...
Makes no damn sense. Oh, my neck, my back, my neck, and my back. Oh.
Oh, yeah, I had to do that. Sorry, Charardoll. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm a big fan of Jonathan Kuminga. I love the guy. And I would not want Jonathan Kuminga to leave the Golden State Warriors. I want to see him play next season.
Do you think him and Kerr can get along next year?
Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kuminga are not going to get along next season.
Oh, they're not going to get along? So how's it going to work out if they don't get along?
Jonathan Kuminga will leave the Golden State Warriors.
Keep going, man.
Jonathan Kuminga will tell Steve Kerr that I don't want to be on this team anyway. I'm leaving. And Jonathan Kuminga will not be on the Warriors next season.
Oh, wow. How's your dating life going, Charardoll? I know this is a personal question, but you brought that up before yourself. Yeah.
I have nobody right now. I'm looking for love right now.
You'll find it. It's important. Charardoll,
you're the love guru.
Charardoll, keep this in mind, okay? Just to keep your spirits up and optimism abound. California, I think it's safe to say, and folks, if you want to push back, obviously you're welcome to, but a safe assumption I'm going to make here is that California is the hardest place in the world for dating if you're a man.
Armando, it's great that you're on here. You're one of the hardest working professors at the University of Berkeley.
No, that's Armando.
I love the campus. I love the Cal Berkeley campus. I actually went to hear a speaker at Cal with my economics class.
Nice.
Cool.
So what are your thoughts on the Warriors? How do you think that the roster's gonna look like next season for Golden State?
I think it's gonna be great, Charardoll. I'm pumped. Armando, what do you think?
Did you guys hear about that UC Berkeley professor who got in trouble for saying that, advising his students that to date outside the Bay Area for that exact reason?
Don't know this story at all. Elaborate, please.
He was like on a chat and he was saying one of his students asked like, I'm a guy. It's hard for me to get a date here, and he's like, my advice is leave the Bay Area. He got like in trouble.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the Warriors? How do you think the season's gonna look like next year? How many games do you think they're gonna win?
Armando, that was for you.
Oh, they are going to win 35 games next year. I'm down. I'm pessimistic.
That's low, brother. That's 35.
I just don't believe in the coach. I don't believe in the coach. So that's where I'm at.
Charardoll, how many wins do you think the Warriors are getting?
75 wins.
Out of 80, come on, be realistic.
No, 60.
60. All right, I like it. Simon the Two's asking, why is this so hard if you're a man? The reasoning, I don't know. All I know is in my experience, having traveled all over the world, California is the place where it is hard. It's a challenge. I don't know if it's the mentality. I don't know if it's culture. I don't know if it's a demographic ratios. I have no clue why.
I'm really
just telling you my perspective. It's heuristic research, if you will. Sorry, Charardoll, go ahead.
I'm really excited for the Golden State Valkyries versus Dallas Wings WNBA game tomorrow. Paige Beckers is coming for her first time in Valhalla up in San Francisco. First time she's coming over there, so that's going to be fun to see that. You think that Paige Beckers is going to get intimidated by the Valkyries with Kayla Thorne and Tammy Fegbenley and the whole roster for the Valkyries? You think that she's going to be intimidated?
Well, Kayla Thornton, I believe, got injured today. Did they beat the Fever? I'm looking that up right now. I think that the Valkyries played the Fever today, and the Fever did not have Caitlin Clark. They lost. The Valkyries lost 80-70 in that game. That's not good, but I think Kayla Thornton got hurt.
By the way, Paige Beckers is engaged to AZ Fudd.
Do you know who AZ Fudd was named after?
Jennifer AZ.
Good knowledge. Correct. Yes, former Stanford guard. Yes. Good call.
What are your thoughts? Out of the top 5 most gorgeous WNBA players, I think Paige Beckers is very good looking.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to comment on that, but good to know. Good stuff. I try not to. I feel like if the moment you start commenting on people's looks, that's when you can get in some serious trouble. So I try to stay out of that fray, if you will.
Who's the best looking guy in the NBA? That's what I want to know.
Charardoll, your thoughts?
Steph Curry. Steph Curry.
Well, I'm a straight male, but I could see the appeal there. I get
it. Steph Curry took part in the American Century Golf Tournament, but he didn't win the trophy. Up in Tahoe.
What place did he come in?
I don't know, but he didn't win the tournament. He didn't win the cup.
And look at Armando Lara here writing chat posts while being on the show. I think that's a first. The answer is Al Horford. Always, right? Always. I mean, Yup's asking where's Sophia Monday at 3 p.m., sir.
If the Golden State Valkyries make it to the WNBA finals, they're going to take on the New York Liberty.
Okay, good prediction.
Dude,
and the Valkyries going to win the championship.
That would be the best story
in
sports. That'd be the best story in sports if the Valkyries made the finals. That'd be so awesome. It'd be so good for the sport.
And Kate Martin will be the WNBA Finals MVP.
Dude, you're just coming here with some hot takes, dude. By the way, Simon too. All kidding aside, saying they don't know if they can handle another season. And look, I have literal friends telling me I'm done with this shit. Like they're mailing it in because of the cringiness of it. Here's what I will say. The way this is spelling out, I saw someone in the chat earlier bring this up, and I thought it was a very astute point. I apologize for not highlighting it, but someone brought up the fact that it wouldn't surprise them if Jonathan Kuminga had stipulations in his contract regarding minutes and stuff like that. Point is, and that might be true, who knows? But the point is, I think Kaminga is going to finally play. I think all the gamesmanship with Kerr and his role, and this might be wishful thinking. I hope it's not. I hope it's reality. But I have faith that this upcoming season, if Kaminga's back, we're going to see him have a big role. And it's
I really appreciate everybody gives me all the love in the chat. They say that SGA is the GOAT and he's the greatest.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
No. S stands for Stephen Curry. G stands for Draymond Green. And A stands for Andre Iguodala.
Nice. Do you miss Andre Iguodala?
I loved Andre Iguodala.
Did you guys read that report that they were trying to bring him back? I think last year, at the age of like 39 or 40.
No.
That had Kerr written all over it.
AC.
They should.
AC, please do not put stuff like that in the chat. I do not take bong hits. I do not smoke marijuana. I don't take cocaine. Nothing like that. I don't take bong. I've never smoked a bong in my life before. I don't know why AC would even post stuff like that in the chat.
How dare you, AC?
How dare you, AC? I'm gonna find you and choke you. Do not ever say that in the chat.
But see, look, AC's coming back saying that he not take hits. Like, you are the hit. I think that's what the point was.
No, he said you take bong hits. Like, do you hit a bong? I don't hit a bong.
You should try it sometime, Charardoll. Am I peddling drugs now? I take that
No,
back.
why? Please don't peddle. Don't.
Yeah, you're right.
Please do not give me those tips that I need to do that.
I apologize.
Just to be popular. You're saying I have to take drugs to be popular?
No, I'm not. That's why I retract.
What is wrong with you?
A lot of things, Charardoll. Do you have time?
there's stuff that's severely wrong with you.
Like what?
No, you say that I should take a bong hit.
Charardoll,
Charardoll,
any final thoughts? I need to eat.
It's late. It's great coming on your show. I'm a big fan of Golden Days in reference to the Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused.
How about Charardoll? Let's give some love for Sprewell Was Right, Armando's column on Substack.
I have to look into that.
Please do.
I have to look into that, Armando. It's great that you come on here as well. I love that you come on here. I love you. I love you as a professor at Berkeley.
I love
viewers, make sure to click the like and subscribe button for the SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 435 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 500, trying to get super chats, channel memberships, all that fun stuff. Trying to get there.
We're trying to get to 5,000. When the basketball season starts, we're both going to hit new heights, all right? I'm going to promote your channel as well heavily once the season gets going again, okay?
That's great. But it was great coming on the show. I love your sense of humor. You're very funny, and you bring that onto the show. I like it about you. But I hope you have a great rest of your night. And then I'll be back here on another.
TG's asking one more time, Charardoll. How can people find your YouTube?
My YouTube channel is SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 435 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 500 subs by the end of the year. So if you can go and show me some love on my channel, would really help me out a lot. Really help out the YouTube algorithm in a big way. But thanks for having me on the show, man.
Thank you.
It's fun, man. It's an honor to be on your show.
It's an honor to have you,
It's an absolute honor being on your show, man.
Right back at you.
I miss you. I miss you a lot.
Well, believe me, you're gonna get sick of us soon. Well,
I am not gonna get sick and tired of you.
Thank you.
You're one of my favorite hosts. I'm never gonna get sick and tired of you. Never. Like, why am I gonna get sick and tired of you?
I don't know.
I love you, bro. I love you to death. I'm gonna live with Cyrus Saatsaz. I'm gonna die with Cyrus Saatsaz.
Thank you. I don't know about the live part, but we'll do it all together. Sure, sounds good.
I would love to come back here another time, and it was great coming on, and hope you carry on with the show and end it on a positive note.
Thank you, and we will. Charardoll, the great Charardoll, as always. The perfect way to end a show, I think. Real fast, and I'm only bringing this up because I don't want people thinking that Larry and I have any animosity between us. No, Larry and I are very cool, as Armando properly lets his wine breathe. The little tactic there, I like that. No, Larry and I are going to do some shows soon. We were supposed to record something last week, and then I forgot what happened. One of us flaked. Might have been me. I don't know. But we're cool. We're going to do some shows together in the near future. I know Larry is very busy with the Niners right now. Armando, you're a Niners fan too, right?
No, man. I don't watch football.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I love the Niners, and I hope Brock Purdy lives up to the hype. That's all we can hope for, right? I think Brock Purdy and Jonathan Kuminga have some parallels, maybe. I don't know. I think we're all done. Bay Area, right back at you. Thank you, everyone.
I like football analogies because
thank you, Buko. Before we go, Armando, plug away, dude. You've got Sprewell Was Right. You've got Mando_man10 on Threads that people could follow you at. Anything else that we need to promote? What are you working on next for your column? And I know your cousin gets in the mix with you on that. What are you working on? And anything else you want to promote?
Yeah, coming up is one of our contributors, Evan, my friend Evan, who's writing about. He doesn't agree. He thinks the Jimmy Butler trade is what's hurting the Warriors this summer, the $60 million contract. So he's going to write about the way that's affecting them. Our Substack is a place for honest criticism of the way the Warriors are being run. If you love the Warriors,
I'm very excited to read that column because I've heard a few people bring that up. That Jimmy Butler, who's going to make close to $60 million this year. What is it, like 54? The exact amount? I can't remember. Sorry, forgive me for not having that memorized. But I've heard that rhetoric that his contract has hurt the Warriors in some extent. And my only rebuttal to that is, and again, this is where I'm excited to read this column. Is what did Jimmy Butler prevent the Warriors from doing? Who was out there this offseason that the Warriors could have gotten instead if they never made that trade? And I'm guessing your friend's going to address that, and I'm looking forward to it. So, anything else? Are we good?
That's it, man. Thanks. It was fun.
All right, thank you, man. What kind of wine is that, by the way? I used to be a huge wine snob before I pretty much.
This is Pinot Noir, summertime, baby.
Bro, Pinot, dude. And again, if for the young folks out there, if you want a movie recommendation, Sideways. Would you agree with that, Armando?
That's a great movie.
It's one of my favorites ever, and I thought of it because of the wine. They explore the Santa Ynez Valley down in Santa Barbara County or near there, but that's Pinot country, and then we have Pinot country up here, and I think Pinot grapes are grown mostly by the coast. They need like that marine layer. I don't know. I used to be really into that stuff, and then I stopped.
Nice, son.
But and then you have Money Checkup saying I hate Sideways. So there you go. Yeah, it's all subjective. Thank you to everyone. Are we good, Armando? Is that it?
We're good, man. We're good.
We're good. Okay, we'll see y'all soon. Bye.